back in my days when I was younger and hotter, I guess, right? I had married women and women in relationships wanting to sleep with me. I was a traveling military guy. I had no stability, right? It wasn't a stable guy in a sense where you could have a relationship with me that would go anywhere, for a long time in my life. But what I did have was the attractive qualities. And so women would sleep with me while they're in relationships. And, sometimes they told me about them, sometimes they didn't. And it's not something I recommend. Okay. But this is just, I had rationalized it and I had been doing it. So what did I learn from that though? All right. Well, these girls cared about the guys that were at home. A lot of times they would demonize them. It's cucking, right? You can go look at my most popular video, unfortunately, about cuck psychology. And I got interested in cuck psychology, not because I'd been cucked all the time or because that's my thing. I don't want to be the cuck, but essentially I was the bull. All right. Essentially, I was the guy that they were cucking somebody else with. And I got to see from the other perspective all the things that women lie about and hide. All right. About their attraction triggers, about things that their decision making and the things that would make them look less like a good girl to society, the things that she hides from her husband, from potential children, from parents, from some of her friends. I got to see the dark side of that female psychology when she's the person who's texting "I love you" or calling in front of you a guy that she's got at home waiting for her, and going, "Oh, he's such a nice guy," and this and that and the other, and then going another round of sex with you. Like and it didn't matter. Here's the thing. It wasn't like only these 304s or really bad girls with sleeve tattoos and septum piercings that were the ones doing all this. It was everyone from every demographic. I had professional women. I had women who were attorneys and doctors. I had women with no education that were waitresses. I had women that were, I had every color, every race, every demographic I've been through in some way, shape, or form. Again, not a brag, just an experience, and been through normally without them having boyfriends, but also seen what it was like when they had somebody at home. And I saw what that behavior was, and I'm sharing that with you because you see the other side of it. This is stuff that will shock you if you've never been on the other side. And what shocked me the most was the idea that they cared about these guys sometimes. They just weren't, and they didn't desire them. The guy wasn't the person that she wanted to get off on. He was just a guy that she cared about in some way, shape, or form. She saw that she could get her needs met with him transactionally, and she cared about his well-being. A lot of that caring about his well-being had more to do with her, but then you realize that female solipsism is pretty universal. You know what I mean? So she cared, but she didn't care. Like she wasn't desiring him. She wasn't like, "Oh, I can't wait to get home and get railed by my husband." Like that was never it was like, it was like, I only have sex with them when I have to keep things together for the kids kinds of stories. And so many men are on the other side of that. Some of you guys watching this right now have been there, or you're there right now. And so this is why this is educational for you, even though it's going to be hard to hear. Okay. This is educational for you. Understand when she's doing the cheating, she's not crying like it's an assault victim. She's not going, "Oh, I hate it. It's so bad and gross. Oh no, this is such a bad experience." No, trust me, she's not doing that. Okay. She's having more fun in that bedroom a lot of times than she does at home. And reason is because the guy she married wasn't the guy she desired the most. It was, and that happens probably like 70% of the time, 80%. Who knows what the stats are, but it seems to happen more often than not happening, because when you talk to a lot of women as well as men, and you do what I do, both professionally and outside of the office, you talk to enough people, you have conversations with women, and you realize that they care about maybe a guy that they're with, but they're not in desire with that guy. And that happens all the time. They don't desire him sexually in the way that she should, in the way that the guy hopes she does, to be giving his commitment away. And she lies to that guy. And lying is part of the deal. With when a woman is going for a guy that she does not see as her best sexual option, she lies to that guy. That comes with the territory. Most people lie, and most women lie about this in particular. And so you need to know that. The reason you need to know that is not to freak out and throw your marriage away if you're in one, or, try to resolve to live like some kind of a incel lifestyle or something, right? That's not why I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this so you understand what female nature is about. So you learn how to use this big brain of yours, that higher order thinking, to set up your relationship and choose the right person so that you can have relationship success and overcome some of these tendencies. You have to lead. You have to overcome these tendencies with women you're with. They're not going to do it for you. That's where frame comes in. Without this, left to her own devices, she's going to run out of desire for you. She'll probably hook up with you and marry you, even though you're not the best choice. But the hope that you are the best choice is going to put her into an elevated state of desire that's not going to be congruent with how the rest of the relationship will go. So let me say that again. When a girl gets with a guy who's not the best she's ever done sexually, not the best choice or the most attractive to her, okay, she has the hope oftentimes that he is going to be that guy, because in other ways, he may check other blocks. He may be the most loving, the most caring, the most financially successful. He may check these other blocks. And so she goes, man, I really like this guy and I hope he can someday be my sexual best. So I'm going to do this trade-off in my head and go forward in the relationship. And so she's based on hope that desire raises for him, because she's hoping he'll step up and be the man sexually and emotionally and from a dominance perspective. She's hoping that he's going to step up and be that guy for her throughout the process of this relationship and after getting married. What happens is this guy has no idea that she has this covert contract. He thinks he's the best. Otherwise, why would she marry me? In this guy's head, he's like, well, she's a pretty girl. She could get other dudes. She chose me. I'm not that cool. So she must think I'm the man. That's how the guy brain perceives it. And she is going to lie. She's not going to sit there and go, you're not the most attractive guy I've ever been with. Actually, I don't really orgasm that often when we have sex. Actually, she's not going to have that conversation. Okay. So what's going to happen is this guy that everyone's lying to each other, but they're saying I do. They're saying I do, and financially committing, right, with that marriage, all that stuff. But everybody's lying. She's not telling him the truth and saying that, yeah, dude, like there's some areas that need to improve. Or if I have a crystal ball, I'm probably going to fall out of love with you. When guys join my mastermind group, what they're getting more than anything else, whether they're an elite member or mastermind members, is they're getting an understanding of frame. I've done videos on this channel. They're older, but they still apply. They still check out. I have videos on the 4 pillars of frame and the concept of frame, so you can have frame in your relationship. Frame is how you avoid getting into this situation. You avoid being the guy in the situation, and for the girl, you avoid having her, with her lack of awareness and bad decision making, putting herself in a situation where she's banging a trainer. You know what I mean? And so you're saving everybody with frame, but you got to know how to do it. All right. Starts with that free link, getting in the community, but you may want to consider joining the mastermind group, because that's where we're doing weekly coaching calls and you have material to follow so that you can run frame in your life.